Hey everyone, I'm back for the most part, kinda, with still a sore wrist and a build to show you guys. It is not shaman related, which makes it kind of weird to be posting it right now. But a while back I did a how to build a character video for Grim Dawn, and I built this Panetti's replicating missile Arcanist. So what I decided to do was flesh the character out from level 35-ish to level 50, and that's what I did. And I kind of went with doing a sub-theme of let's just cast the missiles as fast as possible without making them terrible. So it's also kind of a really fast casting, really fast running Spellbreaker. But skills, firstly, we've got Panetti's replicating missile maxed out. And on top of its max out, we get it up to 22 thanks to our +1 to all Arcanist skills on Spirit Weaver Circlet, +1 to all skills on Avarice of Andronius, and the Arcanum Sigil gives it +2. And Haunt also gives it +1. And I think that's actually it for the Panetti's. Yes. So, and we also get +1 to Panetti's replicating missile from Hallowed Ground. So that would be our +6 for Panetti's. We have 4 points, I believe, into distortion, and it gets a whopping +6 with all the plus to distortion abilities on our gear. I believe supercharged would be at 8. If I'm doing my math right in my head. And proliferation is also at 4. 1 point goes into Escandra's, and it's 2 modifiers. I put 6 points in Maven's Sphere, 1 point in Conversion, 1 point in Mirror of Aractes, 1 point in Electra's Flash Freeze. I didn't max out Inner Focus, and I may actually pull points out of Distortion and Proliferation to put it into Inner Focus, because Inner Focus is just a really great ability. Arcane Will gets a point. I did max out Mental Alacrity in keeping with our Speed Demon casting speed type of build. And we're dipping into Nightblade to 15 to gather up Night's Chill maxed out, which lowers cold resistance of all of the enemies around us and deals cold damage. And Pneumatic Burst is maxed out to give us a heal, give us total speed, and give us a little defense with its 1 modifier. And I did throw a point into Phantasmal Armor, just because. If I were to go deeper into the Nightblade, I would maybe consider getting Blade Trap just to pin the pinnable enemies. And I would definitely consider maxing out Elemental Awakening and Merciless Repertoire, because even though the Cold is only one of our elemental damage types, it's still an elemental damage type we dish out a lot of. So going for that is actually not a bad thing. So our Panetti's replicating missile, we deal about 1500 damage with it, and it's pretty evenly divided between cold, fire, and lightning, with Aether being secondary and then Electrocute being tertiary, which is to be expected given the 3 types of damage, or the 5 types of damage this ability does, and that we're mostly gearing around elemental damage. So if we come down here, we've got elemental damage at +244, +328, and +279, because I really would want to go for cold over the other 2, but I think it would go cold, then fire, then lightning, giving the option there. And then Aether, and then Electrocute. And Frostburn, I think we'll probably hit some Frostburn in here and there, but Panetti's doesn't take into account weapon damage at all, so it's not going to come from our actual weapons. I don't actually know. Frostburn, I don't have a point in Absolute Zero, so I don't think we're actually going to get a lot out of that Frostburn damage, but I mean, in the future, I would try to take advantage of that as well, because damage is damage. Anyways, for our gear, I'm using a Cortosian Invoker. A good alternate would be the Immaterial Edge. I do have a spare one, but I kind of don't want to rely on that weapon for every single Arcanist I'm using. But yes, a An Immaterial Edge is just as good, if not better, than Cartosian Invoker. Also, this has a little bit of casting speed on it, in addition to giving lots of elemental damage and energy regen. You also get free elemental... You also get free, like, weaker... Not that weak, but weaker-ish replicating missiles out of it. Chest pieces, Fanatic's Overcoat, mostly for that total speed on the chest piece. And having a health regen is nice. You don't actually need a lot of energy regen for this build, and we get it in other places. Pants and boots. I am doing the 2-piece for explorers, and this gives us a good set of sort of defensive support abilities or features from our gear, and the 2-set bonus is really nice for getting lots and lots of speed. Oh, and I should point out, I'm bordering 200, 200% of my casting speed. Gloves. The Rowari Handguards, possibly the best caster gloves at this current point in time, with spell-woven threads thrown in there. I don't actually have a spare Mantle of Weeping Eye right now, which is what I'd probably go with in this spot. But Astral Mantle does the job just as well. Crushing Will, predictably enough, is our offhand because of its 22% casting speed, plus it's a great elemental offhand. And I threw the Cold Stone in there because we're using cold damage more than the other two elemental damages. And you have an Amber there, and I would consider switching that to an Aura, but having the Empowered Lightning Nova is actually not a bad thing to have as an additional... if you get surrounded, you can sweep things out. But, yeah, I would consider switching that out for another Aura. If I were to be really specific. Rings, I have a Devil's Wrath Seal with Mark of Illusions thrown in. A Chill Surge Ring with Mark of Illusions thrown in. And Everest of Andronius with an Arcane Spark thrown in. And then, finally, Spirit Weaver Circlet with a Rune Stone. Oh, and these three. Haunt with +1 to Distortion. Physics Utility Belt just with the Bristly Fur thrown in. And the Arcanum Sigil, which is pretty much your best Panetti's medal, in my opinion. And I have an Attune Lodestone thrown in there. Because why not? And I mean, there really isn't a lot else I could think to throw in there aside from another Arcane Spark. Oh, and I would go with an Arcane Lens there if I could, but Arcane Spark works just as well. So I'm going to run up to Zarthazellan and shoot him with missiles. But first I do want to show that, oh, we didn't get a group there? Okay. So, our, first thing I do is get frozen right in the door. Yeah, our Panetti's is going to be really strong. Oh, and also, oh, speak of the devil, Arcane Lens. Our Panetti's, we're going to go really fast with it, and it's going to really, really destroy rooms full of enemies. But it is going to be not as good against single big targets. This is definitely a let's clear the room out rather than let's kill one guy ability. So like Skeletal Knights are going to take a couple missiles to bring down. But generally speaking, rooms full of trash, as you can see, are just gonna disappear under the missiles. You're also gonna hear me click a lot. Click, 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 because click a lot and not pay attention to what I'm shooting at. I'll try not to click as much. So Panetti's, it is just a really great like clear the room type of ability. Not as good single target. So I would consider maybe doing maybe trying for a single target ability that exists in the game, like door. I mean, it wasn't that bad. Depth Spellblade. Oh, of course I got it. Yeah, I would maybe consider going for the Sacred Strike, even though you have to enter melee to do it. As another option for Blessed Steel would be the thing. Another option as a component. But because it's all elemental damage, and it's actually a lot of elemental damage, so it actually works great as a single target, just smack, even though it's you know, just a hit and then you move on. It may also be a build. If you focus on fire, you could maybe get away with using Albrecht's Aether, like using Panetti's as you go through the trash mobs, and then using Albrecht's Aether Ray as you go through the using Albrecht's Aether Ray on the single targets you want to take down. Like, okay, the archer. Oh, this guy's here. Like, the archers can die anytime now.
Can't do that yet.
So I didn't really notice a big difference between, and this is what I mean when I say single target damage is not as great. But like, it matters. We just run away and we can just continue doing this until it's dead. He kind of had a shield going on, so that did kind of slow us down. But speaking of shields, I didn't notice a big change between Myvin's Spheres, using Myvin's Sphere now and using, and not having it before. I mean, I obviously didn't main this guy a lot, but, yeah, Myvin's Sphere, that elemental damage converted to physical, isn't gonna be a huge deal. It's about as big a deal as the actual total damage on it that the total damage you lose. It's not anything to worry about, in all honesty, compared to the benefits of the defenses you get. I mean, I probably would have been dead several times over already had I not had like right there. Had I not had Myvin's Sphere protection up. That's reflective. That hurts. That's a Deathbolt Archer shooting me. That hurts as well. Hey, excuse me, I have to go kill this jerk over here. Throw it on the pile. No, Magnuson's trench coat is good for what it is. I just have like 4 of them. I almost wish Mantle of the Weeping Eye would drop for me and annoy me again, because like I had like 6 or 7 of those just on my Aether Ray guy from his farming, and it's like I got really annoyed at them showing up, and then it's like, oh, they don't show up as much now for me, and it's like, oh, I kind of miss them. Or at least I shouldn't say I kind of miss them. I just kind of wish I had one for this guy. Because Iskander's Elemental Exchange is a great way to deal with with issues dealing with energy regen. I mean, this guy doesn't really have energy regen issues. It's just that if he's moving fast through a group of mobs, he may have to throw back a potion. It's rarer for him to use a potion than it looks. Because you have like that where you have to run into a corner and grab a chest, and it's like, oh, that's enough time for his energy to come back. Plus Panetti's, given how many times I'm actually flinging it out, it's kind of surprising he doesn't starve for energy. I'm getting all the rare components in this. Also, Pneumatic Burst works great as an ability to get around with for that total speed, because that does affect your movement speed. So it's great if you want to get around really quick.
Can't do that yet.
Now I would consider, I think I listed earlier,
Can't do that yet.
the elementals I would gear down the list for are, just to reiterate, cold, then fire, then lightning, then aether, and then electrocute or whatever. But the reason for that is cold is affected by Night's Chill, which is always up. Fire is affected by Electra's Flash Freeze, so when you do freeze a group of enemies, they'll take negative resistance to fire from Electra's Flash Freeze. And then lightning generally, right now with this guy, doesn't have any sort of benefit with his other abilities. So cold and fire are the first you should really go with.
That skill's not ready.
That was a Chill Surge ring proccing. I love the Chill Surge ring. It gives you a great, huge Electra's Flash Freeze. I'm sorry if the clicking is too loud on the record.
That skill's not ready.
I think I've covered everything I need to cover about this build, so we'll just run up to Zarthazellan and shoot him in the face. Now I'm going to break off and kill these priests. How often do you get to say that in your life? I'm going to break off and kill these priests. Because they could possibly heal. Ow, come on. They could possibly heal Zarthazellan back to full health, and we don't want that. It's not just about sitting here and DPSing him down. Not that he's a difficult boss in general. It's just you will take a little bit more time than usual to that looks like a good offhand. A little bit more time than usual to deal with him. We're actually gonna look at that on camera. That that looks pretty not bad for someone using cold and demolitionist. A weird combo. So, anyways, thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video on Panetti's Replicating Missile. Up next is probably going to be a Druid video that's kind of similar to the pet build I did before, based around the tornadoes and stuff. Mixed with Trojan Sky Shards. So, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Okay, as a coda, as a closing note, Myvin's 3-set is great for Panetti's Replicating Missile because it gives you all of your damage types, and it ultimately gives you +1 to all Arcana skills as well. So this is also a great alternative, and probably a little easier. I mean, maybe a little easier to get than the Spirit Weaver Circlet and the amulet I'm using. And it's also great because you can use it from pretty much level 25 onward. So that's my little coda, and yeah, now I'll leave the video.